live. There we go. What's up? Let's go. Oh, man, we got a hit.
We got a hit.
Got a hit. This is my dad, everybody. You're not quite in the frame. If you want to slide over, there you go. I can't get the camera to sit properly, but
it's my lucky hat.
My dad with his fancy paintings behind us, his fancy Angels attire. You got the chat here. They're all saying they can't hear anything because they couldn't for a while.
Got it now.
Adele almost goes yard, but...
No, that's just a... Of course, we don't usually catch those.
I'm so happy. I was about to hit the go live button, and right when I did, Luis Rengifo got the hit. I jinxed it. I did jinx it, absolutely.
I almost had to put this hat on.
Yeah, we're going to be at the game tomorrow vlogging, but I was so prepared to be perfect. Like, who's going to get the hit?
I'll be honest, I was pulling for Kershaw.
Me too.
Much as I love the Angels, I was pulling for Kershaw, but I had a feeling that we were going to get a hit, and then we did.
Absolutely.
But you know what? The Dodgers have a great team, and they're proving it again tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. We're not going to score any runs. It's still going to be a 9-0 shutout, and it'll still go.
I absolutely agree. But... We don't hit. And the Dodgers, to be fair, have played some great defense tonight. Yeah, great defense.
Walshy's been atrocious lately.
Well, he had one shot that looked like it was headed to right field, but Alberto had other ideas.
Ooh, that's a good question. You think Jeremy Reed would have been fired if we got perfect gamed? Does this keep his job?
You know what? I'm wondering if we're going to see a shakeup at the All-Star break, but I mean, come on. If you follow the Angels like we do, you see that there's things that have to be fixed. Why should we wait till next year when it's only halfway through the season? I mean, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, that's all.
Alan's buying a Luis Rengifo jersey. Love it. The Fugitive. I would like to get like one that says Fugitive on the back with whatever number he is. I think he's number 9, number 6.
Yeah, what number is he?
I don't know. So while I got you here, give me some Angels background. How's your life as an Angels fan come about?
Well, I was born in Anaheim and about a mile away from the ballpark, and my parents used to put me under the seat when I was a baby. And I used to go and watch Jim Fregosi play. My best friend growing up, his dad was an usher, and we went to every single Angels home game in 1973. Every one. Didn't miss any. And we got 99-cent seats. They called them general admission back then. And we would just go for they weren't very good, but we didn't care.
Yeah, just like now. Except for they didn't have two of the best players in baseball history.
No, but we did have Nolan Ryan then. And, we had someone to root for. But, everybody that gets on his case because he didn't have a great winning record, he had a terrible team. It was a terrible team. And, I mean, we had people like Dirty Al Gallagher and Leroy Stanton and Dave Chalk, Terry Humphrey. Look these guys up.
Never heard a single one of those names.
No, those were the guys we had. So, but then as I got old enough to work, I got hired at Anaheim Stadium as a vendor, a hawker, whatever you want to call it, walking up and down the aisles selling. And that was my way to make a little money and watch every game. And I did that for 18 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then when that was done, we got season seats and did that for a while too.
Then we were good for a bit.
Yeah, we used to make the playoffs.
I grew up a proud Angels
Walsh
fan.
got one there.
That might be.
They're gonna catch it.
Tristan Thompson's got it.
Clay
Thompson's brother just Ooh, Rengifo to third though.
Well, we got a runner all the way to third base.
What do you think of Rengifo? Rengifo's a hot topic in the Angels community. Who is he good? Is he bad? Is he replacement level? What do you think?
I've been really impressed with his bat and his versatility. I still think personally he's more of a bench player, but he's a guy you can trust on to be your 10th man. But with the guys that we have up right now, honestly, I like him as a starter. But ultimately, I think going into the next season, you don't think of him as a starter as much as a role player. But we had 5 or 6 guys like that on our team for a while. Tyler Wade was like that.
Yeah.
But I think Rengifo's got more skill and he's young. There's a reason why we almost traded him to the Dodgers a couple of years ago. They saw something in him. So, and you can be an Angel fan. It means you don't like the Dodgers. I'm not one of those. Dodgers are actually my second favorite team. But I'll never root for them over the Angels, and they're good.
Yeah. No.
So you have to look at why they're good and what it is that they do. And yeah, they've went out and bought a lot of really good ball players, but those ball players are performing.
They do everything well too.
Yeah, but if they're looking at a guy like Rengifo, he's probably got at least a lot of potential to be tapped into. So, it's pretty crazy. So I like Rengifo. Again, I see him as more of a alternative guy rather than a regular. But, let's face it, VR is a Band-Aid for us right now. Stefanic's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, Stefanic's, I think he's got a future as an Eric Ibar level player.
Yeah, he might. It's hard to say. He's an underdog.
What do you think of? Well, first of all, my buddy Allen, my dude right there. Will Pujols upset in the home run derby?
Oh no, he's
Absolutely
going down.
not. Yeah, I don't know if he'll hit. I don't know if he'll make it through the round.
No, it's a
might
feel
tap
good
out.
story, and you know what? Pujols is an all-time great ball player, but his skill level right now, he's only in there. He shouldn't be in the home run derby.
Yeah,
That's all.
no.
He's taking a spot away from someone that should be in there.
He and his 6 home runs.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in there. It's as simple as that. But I have a lot of respect for what the guy's done. And when he was a Cardinal, his first 10 seasons or so, some of the best seasons. I mean, I always say as an Angel fan, he was Mike Trout before Mike Trout was around. He was that good.
Yeah.
When the Angels paid all that money for him, it's because he had Mike Trout kind of numbers. So I respect the heck out of him, but he shouldn't be in the home run derby, and he's just going to get blasted. I
Yeah.
think.
No,
Yeah.
there's no shot he gets anywhere in the home run derby.
So,
Well, essentially, he's going up against Schwarber in round 1.
yeah, Schwarber.
he's gonna get absolutely-
I actually picked Schwarber to go to the finals.
I picked Soto versus Alonso, with Soto winning.
I have Alonso and Schwarber.
What do you think of Taylor Ward?
Well, he's in a slump, and I love the guy, but Nolan and I were talking about this earlier tonight. We have a hitting coach, and our hitting coach is not helping Ward. He's not helping Walsh. He's not helping Marsh. Those guys are not doing their job right now, and I think they're doing everything they know possible. So someone's got to sit down with those guys and figure out what they used to do that used to work. And that's the key in baseball, is being able to do it consistently. And Ward's in a major slump right now, and he's not a center fielder. Let's face it. We need Trout out there. So they've played great defense against us, and our defense has been shoddy. But I like Taylor Ward, and I'm not sure he's healthy. To be
Yeah.
fair, I'm not sure he's
No,
healthy.
in Miami, I saw him run to first base and grabbing his hip the whole time. Looks like he's running half as fast as he was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So again, I still think we have most of the players we need, but we're not getting the best results from them, and that's the thing that frustrates me as a longtime Angel fan. Is it just seems to me that we're sitting here recognizing some things, and the guys that are supposed to be helping them aren't doing their job, and you shouldn't have a job if you can't fix that. That's what they pay you for.
Yeah.
So I don't know Jeremy Reed, but he's not doing his job. Joe Madden wasn't doing his job either.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody keeps telling me that it was a little bit questionable that they fired Madden. You lose 14 games in a row, you fire the manager. Period.
Yeah. I mean, that's winning 14 games in a row is hard. Losing 14 games in a row is debatably easily as hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah,
And I was at one of those early games. I was telling Nolan. We were ahead of the Blue Jays at home. And Madden had nobody warming up. And he brought in, I think it was Aaron Loop. And you knew Loop was shabby at the time. Still is shabby. And he just was terrible. And by the time we brought in a relief pitcher, we were behind.
Who the hell is that?
Doesn't matter.
Who is that? It looks like a pitching coach. Moronta?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
the
But
hell?
he's the guy you bring in when you're winning 9-0 in the ninth inning. There's no need to leave Kershaw. In fact, I hope that Kershaw and Ohtani pitch in to start the All-Star game. I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the...
I think Baker's
think
going to
it's
start
gonna be a
for
matchup.
Verlander. That's what I think he's going to do.
that would be terrible.
Well, that's
don't
what I
wanna
think
see
he's going
that.
to. Well, the Dodger fans don't want to see that either. So we already know that. But I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to back his own guy.
That's
So.
dumb.
But Ohtani pitched. He'll be on exactly 5 days rest, so it'd be perfect just to have him start, and you'd get incredible fan appeal throughout the United States and really overseas too, obviously, So,
Yeah.
you know, and the way Otani's pitching right now, you can't argue. He deserves to start. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting, but it'll be fun to actually be there in person. So for all of
Yeah.
you guys that can't go there, I know this guy's going to keep you entertained.
Oh yeah, I'm vlogging tomorrow's game, the Angels-Dodgers game. Hopefully, we get a base runner before the 8th inning. That would be my ideal game. Is a game where we get a base runner before the 8th.
I'm never going to call an Angel victory, but I will tell you, folks, that I've only seen the Angels lose in person once in the last 3 years, and it was this year. So they generally win when I go, and
I'm 0-1 this year.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, and you know, Urias is a great pitcher. That's who we're facing tomorrow night. But you know, he's not Kershaw. He's beatable.
Yeah.
Suarez, though, is our number 6 starter.
Thanks, Artie Moreno, for ruining my childhood. Can't wait to see Ohtani play for a winning team. Oh yeah, what are your thoughts on the Ohtani trade Ohtani, extend Ohtani talk?
I believe that he will be very gracious with the team and say we'll discuss it after the season next year, which means translation, I'm not going to play for a team that loses. And can anybody here blame him?
Absolutely.
He deserves to play for a winner. We are not winning, and I don't think he's going to stay. And I'll be telling you right now on the camera, he's going to end up on the Dodgers. That's my call.
Really?
The Dodgers will pay him.
Trade or free agency?
Free agency. Yeah. He wants to stay on the West Coast, and they're the best team on the West Coast. I really wish it was the Angels. I'd love to keep he and Trout together.
What if they were to trade him? What kind of trade would you want?
Well, it's hard to say because it would definitely be next year. You don't do it now.
Yeah.
You do everything you can to extend that guy, even if it's just one more year. I think they will make him a fair offer. But, you know, teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers are going to offer him, like, I don't know, some ridiculous amount of money. They'll basically write him a blank check. And I could easily see him getting a $400+ million contract. And, you know, you can't blame the guy. He's one of the great superstars that you'll ever see in the game. And he deserves to play for a winner. And again, I want him on my team selfishly, but if we don't win,
so I think he's going to get a 10-year, $500 million contract, and I don't think that's ridiculous because of all the money he brings to the whatever franchise has him.
Mm-hmm.
We can't compete with Trout making 40, Rendon making 35, and Ohtani making 50.
Well, especially when we're losing.
Yeah.
No, we're not only not making the playoffs, we're not even playing 500 ball.
Well, yeah, we can't. That's why I'm saying we can't. If we extend him, we're just committing to mediocrity for the next 10 years, basically, till like 2038.
Yeah, it's tough because I with a straight face, I couldn't say to anybody, I think we should trade Shohei Ohtani, because you know, he's a huge fan favorite, and he's not the problem. You need an ace to contend. We have an ace. He's unbelievable. This is by far the best pitching that we've ever seen from him this year. And he hasn't shown any signs of arm trouble. He's throwing all his pitches for strikes. His fastball's over 100 miles an hour regularly. His off-speed pitches are devastating. The Astros just had this look on their face like, how am I supposed to hit this guy? I mean, they were just throwing their bats out there and hoping that the ball would hit the bat. And the Astros are good. You know, you got to like them.
Everyone, the last 6 or 7 years, everyone's been shitting on our starting pitching. And all of a sudden, we have starting pitching, and everything else is terrible.
Yeah, I really think they need to do something. Well, they need to get those bullpen arms pitching like they're supposed to pitch, because every one of those guys was better last year.
Yeah,
and our hitters are very much more capable than what they've shown. And you know, I watch every single game. But I don't miss the games, and you know, I don't have to look at the computer analytics to tell you what's happening. I see it with my own eyes. And, you know, last night's a perfect example. You get a runner on second with nobody out in the extra inning. We don't score. Hardly ever do we score. That's why you lose.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to move that runner over, period. If you're a professional Major League Baseball player with a bat, you have to get that runner over. You have to know how to do it, and you have to do it consistently.
Yeah.
So,
I feel that.
Yeah.
I agree that this was supposed to be the Angels' year. Like, this was the year where I was like, Pujols' money came off the books.
Yes.
We're going to go all in free agency. We're going to make some trades. Mm-hmm. Joe Adell's going to come up and be that 5-tool player we're always hoping. Trout and Rendon are going to stay healthy all year.
Is that Bartolo?
Yeah, I know. Reyes Moronta.
Awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
This dude looks like they picked someone out of the crowd.
Well, you know
Doesn't
what?
it?
If
You're
he's
such a
pitching for the
Dodgers
Dodgers,
fan.
he must be pretty good.
Looks like
Wow.
he just came out of the stands.
I've heard of him before, though.
I love it.
So
Griffin Canning. Isn't Griffin Canning
Canning's still injured, yeah.
Yeah.
He's another one. He had a great arm coming out of UCLA. Mm-hmm. So still does. So I'll be honest, guys. I'm happy that they're giving Adele a chance. I know it's interesting to watch him in the outfield. It was interesting to watch Ward tonight too out there, to be honest.
think he's
And
just
then that's
nervous,
funny.
or-
Marsh is such a good fielder, but he just can't hit right now. So it's very, very interesting that we got 3 guys out there that should be able to do everything.
We got 2 halves of outfielders.
Yeah, I said that earlier tonight. If you could take Adele's bat and Marsh's glove and put them in a blender, you got a solid ball player. But for those of you that are tuning in and you're Angels fans like we are, we have a right to be frustrated, but it is fixable, and you just got to hire the right people to fix it. That's all. We're not starting over from scratch. We're not the A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing like the A's, but we're not. We got more star power.
Well, the
than
A's
them.
beat the Astros tonight.
Yeah.
So, hey, Suzuki almost got a hit.
Suzuki with a line drive.
right to Turner.
Do you think there's some supreme being that is raining down its vengeance upon the Angels with, you got to admit, we're getting unlucky on top of playing like
We've
shit.
been very unlucky all year, but again, as a longtime Angels fan, I can tell you that the bad luck has been there. Except for 2002, the bad luck was there all the time. And in 2002, for some reason, we would get behind. I know this is 20 years ago, but we would always get behind, and my brother and I would say we got them right where we want them, and we would come back, even in the playoffs against the Yankees. And the Yankees had Hall of Famers on their team that year, and it just didn't matter. We had the best team. So, and that's back when Socha was chill and he was doing a great job as manager. It just was a magical year, and I wish we had more than one magical year because that was so much fun. There,
Oh, that was
Marsh
a good
hit one.
swing.
Marsh hit one.
Oh, my God.
yeah, that's a home run.
Marsh home run.
All right.
Brandon Marsh.
I've been waiting for Marsh to do that. Of course,
We're just
Kershaw's
talking
not
shit
in
on
there.
him.
Well, you know what? Marsh is capable of at least hitting 250, 260.
Yeah.
And
That's all I want.
He's-
I think he's a Cole Calhoun type.
yeah.
Great defense with, maybe not as good of
Oh,
an
and he
arm, but-
hustles.
Yeah, he's a good ball player.
No, he's a fan favorite as well. He should be. But again, these guys have to hit. We can't have Velasquez out there hitting 170. Velasquez is a great fielder, but he's not. Nobody's good enough
my
to
boy
play every day.
Barrels.
You
My
gotta
boy.
hit. That's too far below the Mendoza line. Bro,
I wish he was good. I love Squid.
I know. Again, he's a great guy coming off the bench. He's got speed. He's got a great glove. Yeah, he left that ball up.
Oh, yeah.
And Marsh punished it. Yep.
Just
that was
a
nice.
beautiful swing.
It's nice to see him. I haven't seen a swing like that from Marsh in a long time.
Me neither.
So, but I know we keep sitting here thinking they're going to turn this thing around, but it's
I don't.
yeah.
You can't let him get to you. They
Yeah.
have one good inning, and you're like, oh, there's the team I watched for a month and a half and thought was going to be a lock for the postseason.
Yeah. Well, they should have swept the Astros.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't have that dagger at the end. They just don't. And again, their number one problem by far right now is not the bullpen; it's hitting.
Yeah.
It's
Especially at
hitting.
the
I
bottom
mean,
of the
it's a
lineup.
perfect example tonight. We finally score a run in the ninth after they take out Kershaw, and Kershaw's a very good pitcher. Let's face it. But man, I got some love on Marsh there. I see that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We have so many guys on the team that you can't help but like. They're hardworking. They're not showboaters or anything like that. So,
Rare
but
Stefanik strikeout.
yeah, he swings the bat. I like that. Here comes Shohei.
Yeah. You get one more Shohei at bat.
Well,
I think he's
this
going
guy
hard
might.
tomorrow.
Yeah, this guy may leave one up for him to hit. So,
Yeah.
But I am very happy for Kershaw. I think Kershaw is. If I made a list of the top 50 pitchers of all time, Kershaw's definitely on that list.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the hate. As much as I'm an Angel fan, I'm not a Dodger hater. And Kershaw's He and Koufax would be my two favorite Dodger pitchers of all time. Two of the greatest lefties of all time, to be quite honest. There was a time when Clayton Kershaw was undeniably the best pitcher in baseball, period. Pitchers don't win the MVP.
Shohei's so cute, the little things he does, like picking up the ball right there. No other player in baseball would do that.
Nope. Well, and again, you look at he's having a down first half. Those are solid numbers.
Oh yeah,
You double that
runs.
if he goes 38 and 115 RBIs on the season.
Oh yeah.
And never mind, he's going to be at least top 5 for Cy Young.
Yep. No, it's
I mean, if he
ridiculous.
keeps it up, he might even win the Cy Young award. But I hadn't even thought about that until recently. He's just been ridiculous.
Yeah, my buddy keeps bringing up that Kershaw is a free agent next year, but I assume the Dodgers will just re-sign him again, right? I can't see him wearing another
I don't
jersey.
see him, no. And I know a lot of people thought, well, he has back problems and he gets hurt and he's not who he used to be. And all those things are true. But you saw tonight and really all season what he's capable of doing. He's a guy you like having on the mound. And postseason, you remember, you really only need 3 starters. Normally a Tony Gonsolin type, he's having a great year. But normally he's the kind of guy that comes out of the bullpen in the playoffs. And that's what they'll do with Dustin May this year. Don't forget, the Dodgers have him coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the thing. If our team could actually figure things out, we could have someone coming out of the pen with some of these starters. Like Reed Detmer's coming out of the pen in the 6th and 7th inning, throwing that devastating off-speed pitch that he has.
Well, we have some players doing well in the minors, specifically in Double A at the Trash Pandas. But
Yep. A lot of arms. And the rumor is we're going to get a lot more arms here in the draft.
Yeah, we'll
So-
have to see. We already talked about the Ohtani extension. The general consensus is we want to extend him, but we don't know what we're going to do to compete if we do extend him.
Right.
Head to bed.
It's tough. But it's, guys, you know how hard it would be to trade Shohei Ohtani. I know that last year the Nationals traded Scherzer and Turner, but they got quite a haul from the Dodgers for that deal. And I think they knew they couldn't re-sign him, so I think the Angels are going to do whatever they can before they have to trade him before the deadline next year if they can't extend him. They cannot wait till the offseason and get nothing. That's a Rockies move.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's exactly where I'm at, and I don't think he wants to stay with the Angels, so it's going to have to, I think he loves it in Anaheim, but I can't imagine how embarrassing it must be to put on that jersey every day right now.
It's tough because he knows the only time they realistically are like favored to win is when he's pitching.
Yeah.
They'll probably lose tomorrow.
Well, yeah, they still haven't won a game since June 27th that he didn't start.
No.
So we have another losing streak, except for Ohtani's on our team, so luckily.
Well, and Sandoval is I think clearly our second best starter, and you saw what he did tonight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he doesn't go out there. Kershaw attacked us tonight. He came in throwing strikes. We couldn't hit him. And Sandoval seemed to be afraid to do that. Then he really, he came back down to earth after that first inning a little bit and settled in a bit. But, we know when our team takes out the starters, it's usually a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And, our starters have to go more than 5 innings on a regular basis.
Well, and it's funny, we just kind of flip-flopped problems.
Well, again, guys, we don't out-hit our mistakes.
Yeah.
Our defense hasn't been solid this year. Our bullpen hasn't done what they're supposed to do this year. Our rotation has been solid most of the year, but our hitting has not. And it was great the first, maybe 6 weeks when Taylor Ward couldn't miss.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just changing the thumbnail.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah. No, it's just been an absolute pain. I don't know what to... It's a chore to watch the games now.
Well, and a lot of my friends say, how can you watch when you know that they're not going to win? And I say, well, that's not what it is when you're a fan. You follow a team. There's Royals fans in the world. What do they do?
Yeah. You got a point.
Well, I remember when the Astros were the joke of baseball. So,
Yeah.
they got,
But my problem with us is that we're not building towards anything.
No, we're kind of marking time, standing place, and like I said before, you can't be thinking about next year when it's still early enough to do something. That's why they have a wild card. You got to do what it takes to compete. And I wouldn't blame them if they traded Syndergaard and got something in return. That's not a problem. They can trade him to the Cardinals. I saw that comment. That's not a bad move.
Yeah.
Especially with the young guys we have, and we don't have him signed through next year. Same thing with Lorenzen.
Yeah.
I've liked Silseth. I think he's got some potential.
No, Sosa's got some nasty stuff. I've been a big fan of him. So if you took over as GM tomorrow, what are your first moves?
Well, you know what? I guess I would sit down with Jeremy Reed and say, look, what are you trying to do? What are you doing to fix our hitting problems? And in all honesty, I'd probably, I guess I'm not a GM, but we need to get somebody in, a professional that can get those guys back on track to do what they would normally know how to do. That's the number one thing. We have to do that. And there's got to be somebody out there that can do that does that for a living.
Yeah.
And this exception of mediocrity that we do, acceptance of mediocrity, I should say, is not, you can't do that when you've got two of the best players, not only in the game now, but, Mike Trout's going to go down probably all-time top 10 when all's said and done. Yeah. And, who knows what's going to happen with Ohtani because he's in his prime right now. And I can't think of anybody I'd rather have on my team right now than those two guys when they're right. But, even Trout hasn't been right for a while. I don't know if he's just not healthy or...
Well, I've never seen Trout slump like this before.
No.
He's had bad stretches, but never 0 for 26. Never...
So I would address that as the GM and I would talk to... you don't go into the locker room and close the door like Billy Beane and say, guys, let's have a meeting. Here's some popcorn. You have to talk to the guys that are supposed to be helping them. That's their jobs. And they're not doing their jobs right now. And it doesn't matter if they're trying. If you go out driving every day and every day you hit something or somebody, eventually they're going to take your license away. If you're a hitting coach and your team can't hit for months, you're not a good hitting coach. So, again, I don't know these guys on a personal level, but they're not doing their job. And our team should be able to hit better than this. That's at the end of the day, we should routinely be seeing Ward and Ohtani and Walsh and Trout, at least those four. And I'm an Adley fan. Adley can hit. We should be seeing those guys scoring, lots of runs. The Angels should regularly score 5 or 6 runs a game.
Well, at the beginning of the year, when we had Ward, if Ward got on base, he was scoring.
Yep.
Every game. If he got on base in the first inning, he was going to score. Either Ohtani was going to hit a home run or get him to third, Trout was going to knock him in. Something was going to happen. He was going to score.
Correct.
It was almost a foregone conclusion. But nowadays, if we get a base runner, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. They're not scoring.
Like I said, they can't even get the ghost runner home from second base with nobody out. And I know, and I watch it, and I know it's gonna happen, and it's just so frustrating that, those are the simple things. You have to be able to bunt or hit a ball to the right side, or at least hit it in the air long enough to move the runner over. And if you watched the game last night, the Astros had a pass ball or a wild pitch that moved the runner to third. Had we moved him to third like we were supposed to, we would have had a tie game. And, the thing about this hitting that we're talking about, it's messing with the pitcher's psyche because they go out there basically thinking, I gotta throw a Kershaw game or we can't win. The only one that doesn't do that is Ohtani. He goes out and pitches like normal, and then he hits a triple and knocks in runs.
Well, I feel like he just coaches himself. I don't know if it's a language barrier thing or what, but it feels like he doesn't listen to the pitching or hitting coaches. And that's why he never... And even when he slumps at the plate, he's not even slumping that much. And then on the mound, he had a couple of bad starts at the beginning of the year, but it's like, I don't know if he just goes home and watches YouTube videos or he has a separate pitching coach or something.
Yeah, they said even on his birthday, he was watching video.
Howdy, gents.
We're live.
We're
So, at any rate, that's that's the thing about Shohei. He's a consummate professional, and so is Trout. And I know he has a lot of pride, but it's got to take a lot out of you to stick with the team and sign with them long term, and get those promises that they're going to work really hard to get you to the postseason, and then they don't. And it's hard to believe it anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't believe in. I have. This team has no direction. We have no top 100 prospects.
It's administrative is the problem more than what's on the field.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. The administration and the coaching staff, maybe the scouts, I don't know. But, again, you asked me that question 10 minutes ago about being the GM. I would get to the bottom of that. I'm not a person that can handle this. If it was my job, I would basically tell everybody, look, we're winning, or you should fire me. That's what I would say, and I would do everything in my power to make sure we win, or I would resign.
Oh yeah, they're way too comfortable in the dugout.
They're way too comfortable. That's why Sosha was, our manager for so many years.
There was a TikTok video that didn't blow up at all, but I saw it, of Matt Wise and the other pitching coaches literally drinking beer, looking at analytics in the clubhouse and just kind of shooting the shit. Yeah. Matt Wise is the only one like looking at a screen. Everyone else is just drinking beers in the Angels.
That sounds like the Red Sox in their heyday.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's what it's like in the clubhouse, and that's not a winning philosophy.
No.
Aaron Loop has a beer fridge in his locker.
That's fine. He can celebrate. He's not. I would put a kitty lock on that thing, and you only get to access it. Access is denied unless you pitch well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, here's your sippy cup.
Yeah, when they win, they can hand out like the locker cards.
That's right. Here's a seize the lollipop.
What do you think of David Fletcher when he comes back? What's the plan?
You know what? I think Fletch is probably our shortstop. To be honest, I think I like Rengifo at second right now. Assuming that the VR experiment, and I'm not a hater on VR. One of the things I've liked that I've seen some VR so far, he's not really comfortable at third base, but he swings the bat. And if you follow the Angels, we have too many guys that are comfortable enough in the batter's box to take their best pitch and get behind, and then they have trouble. And Taylor Ward's a perfect example. He'll take a pitch like Mike Trout will, that is a pitch he could have hit, and he doesn't hit it, and then he's never going to see that pitch again in that at bat. VR gets up there and hacks, so I like him in the lineup. Third base is not his ideal position. I would say under the circumstances right now, he's probably our best guy to have at third base, but it's really more for his bat than his glove. And even just watching the game tonight, you could see that. So I like Fletch at short, though because he's been injured a lot, I think they're going to ease him in. I don't think he's necessarily going to play every single day. So you're still going to see Squid in there from time to time. I think they still want to try to get Stefanik a look. But
Stefanik's looked like the best hitter out of all of them. And he looks comfortable in the box, which is more than I can say.
Well, and again, he swings the bat.
Yeah.
One of the things that's frustrated me all year is watching these guys stand there and look at these beautiful pitches. And even when they get a lot of borderline pitches that really aren't strikes called on them, they're not protecting. Yeah. Major League Baseball players with 2 strikes should know to protect. And Fletcher actually is one of the people that does that. I love Fletch. Yeah. He's hard to strike out.
Yeah.
He protects the plate. And he channels his inner Vlade Guerrero sometimes and hits a fastball up around his head for a hit. So I like that.
Yeah, right now it just seems like nobody cares. And I just have no faith that we're going to get a base runner after the number 5 spot in the order,
No, when we get a hit, it's generally surprising, let alone a run.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened because, Stassi looked great last year after being a nobody for, his whole career pretty much.
Yep.
And in 2020, he looked good. Obviously, Trout was very good under Jeremy Reed the last 2 years or so. Trying to think of other guys that he helped out. I mean, Taylor Ward, you saw what he did at the beginning of the season. So it's not like, I don't know, maybe did Jeremy Reed stop caring or do you just stop trying to make adjustments?
I think part of our problem right now is the fact that now that Madden's gone, we've still got his administration, his coaches that he picked. And that's not the philosophy that works for us. I did not like the lineups that Madden was throwing out there. And as a fan, I was so excited when we signed him. I thought that's going to be as valuable as having Mike Trout. But it just didn't work out. So I wish him the best. I don't have any, dislike. But he didn't put out good lineups on a regular basis. And I watch teams, the Braves are a perfect example. The Braves have almost the same lineup every night, and they win.
Yeah.
They know what their order is. I mean, they have, Michael Harris batting 9th for them. He's a great hitter, but he's their number 9 hitter, and he doesn't complain. And we don't have a set lineup, and we really never have. So I don't know if Ward's the answer, being our leadoff, or Ward batting 3rd. I love having Trout and Ohtani back-to-back when they're both healthy. Honestly, I've always kind of liked Fletcher leading off because he's so hard to strike out. He generally puts the ball in play. But I like the idea of having a set lineup. And if you have a good team, you can do that. So
yeah, I mean, Madden was given Trout and Rendon. And, the only guy he wasn't given off days to was Ohtani. And I feel like Ohtani was very vocal about, don't give me any off days.
No, he wants to play. And I don't blame it. The fans want to see him too. And if you don't see it, his performance suffering, then you know what? Then you let him play. So, but when like Marsh, we were talking earlier, his hitting has suffered so much the last month or two, and they send Adele down, but they just keep throwing Marsh out there, or they'll platoon him with someone that bats righty that can't hit. What good is that?
Someone just asked, where does Artie Moreno live? I just want to talk.
None of us know.
Yeah.
You know what? We used to see him at the ballpark years ago, and he would come out and sign autographs and shake our hands and remember our names and our faces. Haven't seen him personally out mixing with the fans in years.
I don't think he cares anymore. It's
a business for him.
Source. Yeah.
It's a business, and it's too bad. And, it's really nice if you have someone who cares. And again, the Angels have a lot of fans
doing it
that
with
care.
the Mets right now.
Yep, absolutely.
He went out and invested heavily in the team, and now they're in first place.
Yep. And then they're, when DeGrom's coming back and they just got Scherzer back, they're going to be tough in the playoffs if those guys are healthy, because those guys are bulldogs. Scherzer will go 9 innings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
unless he has dead arm like he did with the Dodgers last year.
Yeah. Still, that was a heck of a move. So, I like the teams that aren't afraid to go out and make those little adjustments, but they got to be little adjustments. We have, like you said, Stassi has struggled. He's really a backup catcher at this point. I had wanted them to trade for Wilson Contreras before the season started, because I knew the Cubs were going to trade him. They're going to trade him to somebody here before the deadline, but it's not going to be us.
Absolutely not.
I think a lot of I think the Pirates are going to trade David Bednar, even though they have interest in him. I think they will, because they'll get prospects. I guarantee you the Braves are going to improve themselves before the deadline. The Astros and the Yankees are going to improve themselves. The Mariners are going to improve themselves. All those teams are going to improve themselves. So, I think we still got to continue to try to get better, but we know who our core guys are. And our core guys, we got to get them back to being their best. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all talking about here. And then we can be sitting here having this chat in a month from now and go, man, remember when the Angels couldn't hit and now they're scoring 7 or 8 runs a game? They have the ability to do that.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like they've already done. I mean, the season's already over, in my opinion. I don't think they'd have to go like a ridiculous stretch.
Yes, they would, but they would be a scary team in the playoffs. I don't think anybody would want to play them, especially if Ohtani's pitching like a 1-game playoff.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, but the thing that I did notice was all their trouble started when Rendon got hurt. That's when the losing streak started, and they just haven't been the same. So when you rely that heavily on one player, it's not a great team, and that's the other thing. Rendon was not our best player, but he was that valuable, and our third base defense has not been good without him.
Yeah, well, and just having his name in the lineup, when you see like today's lineup, you see Ohtani, then I think Ward was batting behind him, right?
Yeah, Stefanik, Ohtani, Ward, and then Rengifo.
Yeah, but then you see earlier in the year it was like Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, and it was like, okay, well, if I put Ohtani on,
Walsh,
then I got to pitch to Trout. If I put Trout on, then I got to pitch to Rendon. Mm-hmm. And Rendon with runners on first and second, it just makes you throw more strikes. And, same thing with Ohtani. That's the reason Ohtani had a bad second half last year. Nobody needed to throw him strikes. All of a sudden, he was getting intentionally walked like 10 times every week.
Correct.
And his OPS went up crazy, but...
Yeah, so, we have a lot to be frustrated about, but, that's all because we care. And then, that's the thing. So we just got to keep our hopes up here, and we got to make adjustments. You can't just wake up and say that they're just going to be better tomorrow because it's not going to work that way. Everybody else is going to get better and make their moves, and we need to do the same thing. But we got to fix what we have. And that's the biggest thing, once again, to answer your question. Mm-hmm. If I was the GM... That's what I would get down to the bottom of, and we got to fix what we have. And then you're making little adjustments. You're going for the backup catcher or the DH or the left-handed reliever or whatever.
Oh yeah, that would be so nice to have to fill those small issues. Well,
yeah.
I always like to put it this way. I'm like, the Angels are a solid closer, 3 solid bullpen arms, maybe 2 starters, a shortstop, a second baseman, a third baseman, a backup catcher, maybe a backup utility player, mm-hmm. away from being a contending team, and a new pitching coach, a new hitting coach.
Yeah, it mounts up.
Things,
but I don't think in the middle of the season you start thinking about next year. I don't. Yeah, especially when you're in a division like the West. Besides the Astros, anybody in our division is beatable. And honestly, even the Astros pitchers they're good, but I don't know if they can.
I mean, the Mariners are the hottest team in baseball right now, but
They are, and they have some good pitchers too. Robert Ray pitched well lately, striking people out again. And they're hitting, though. That's the thing. When you're a pitcher and you expect the guys to pick you up, it's a little bit different than going, oh, I just made a mistake, we're going to lose. And I think that the Angels pitchers have felt like that for quite some time. And that just puts a lot of pressure on you to make that perfect pitch. It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, I don't know how Ohtani does it.
I don't know how Ohtani does it, but he's otherworldly. They call him the unicorn, rightfully so. It's unbelievable. But I don't see him playing for a team like the Mariners or even the Giants. Honestly, I think he's going to stay in town. If the Angels can't figure something out, and again, if I'm Shohei Ohtani, I don't stay with the Angels past next year. How could you?
Oh yeah.
What's the deal with loyalty? You want to win.
Well, yeah, and there's no future.
Yeah.
It's not like I feel like when Trout was coming around, you're like, oh, we have a top 5 prospect in Joe Adell.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, other guys coming up through the farm system.
Mm-hmm.
You just signed Albert Pujols. That wasn't a disaster yet.
Mm-hmm.
Trout had a little bit of faith that they were going to do something.
I agree with you. Julio Rodriguez, he is insane.
Oh, he's insane.
Yes. I second that.
Thank you, Ocean Star. Yeah, no, Zach's a Diamondbacks fan. There was somebody in here earlier who's a Mariners fan. I can't remember. Alan's a Cubs fan. He said, leave Wilson Contreras alone. Bring Garrett Anderson in. Oh, yeah. What do you think of Darren Erstad as our new manager?
You know what? I would like him
great.
on the coaching staff. I'd like him and Percival on our coaching staff. Those guys are fiery. That's what I like about them.
Oh, yeah.
Erstad has that football mentality. I could see Erstad in there with the baseball bat. I could see him throwing the seeds on the field instead of Iglesias if we're not winning. And you know what? You need that fire, but you don't need insanity. You don't want the players to be afraid. You want them to be motivated. So it's just really, really important. And again, we got to the point with Socha where we weren't. I know the players weren't even happy. I know a few people that with some inside scoops there, and it was not the right chemistry there. And obviously it wasn't with Madden. So we got to find the coaching staff that can relate to these guys and get them to play their best, and that hasn't worked for us ever since, we stopped making the playoffs. You and I went and watched them get swept by the Royals in 2014.
Yep.
And we haven't seen anything since, and we haven't even really been close, and watching teams like the A's and the Mariners a little bit too, contend. Even the Rangers for a while were good. Remember when Josh Hamilton was good?
Yeah.
I do. I remember them in the World Series. So
Back-to-back years. Back-to-back losses.
yeah. Well, and again, but at least they can say we almost did it. We're not even making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I just want, I would love to buy a wild card hat or something.
No. Yeah,
just
I would
divisional
too.
round or something. And we were so good at the beginning of the year. I was like, I was comfortable already. We were 10 games above 500. I was like, yeah, we're not going to completely collapse and turn to the worst team in all of baseball, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just kidding. Same old Angels.
2014 made me cry. I see that. Yeah, I know. The Royals. But we were at the game, and Lorenzo Cain finally he couldn't throw a ball to this fan. He couldn't catch the ball. So he finally threw his glove up in the stands to this fan so he could catch the ball. And they were just so relaxed, and they had all this karma, and I knew we weren't going to beat them, especially since Josh Hamilton was batting cleanup for us, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, my
no,
gosh.
they were. I remember that. I vividly remember Chris Iannetta hit a solo home run, and David Freese hit a solo home run. I think we were hitless the rest of the game. And then that's when we lost in the 13th.
Yeah, Trout ended up hitting a home run in Kansas City, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have quite a history with this team, and like I said, the ups and the downs, and there've been way more downs than ups, unfortunately. But part of being a fan for any team is to you can't always be pessimistic. You have to find some optimism, and we just have to figure out a way to fix what we have. I mean, that's it's almost like a card game. You're dealt a hand, and you got to make it a winning hand. And we got to figure out a way to do that. And when you pay as much money as we have for Trout and Ohtani and Rendon and some of the other guys, that means we believe in those guys as our core. So now we just have to figure out a way to win with make those guys play their best and build around them. And it just hasn't happened this year. And it was supposed to.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't had any faith in this team the last 4 or 5 years. But this year I was like, okay, Pujols money coming off the books. It's time to invest in the team.
Yes.
Go over the luxury tax. Get Max Scherzer was a lock. I thought I was ready for Max. I was ready for maybe Carlos Rodon after the lockout. Instead, we get Kurt Suzuki and Mike Lorenzen.
Yeah, and Thor.
Yeah.
But, we also thought we were going to sign one of the big shortstops. That didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, that would have been helpful.
So,
even though most of them have underperformed. But, Corey Seager would have been nice. Or even Chris Taylor would have been nice, honestly. I always thought he was a good fit because he wouldn't have broken the bank.
yeah, but again, you notice the Dodgers didn't let him go. They're very, very smart.
Fernando, I want to get one, but I don't know if I'm going to get an All-Star jersey or not. They're pretty sick, though. I really like the All-Star jerseys.
I got an All-Star hat. I'll go get it.
Yeah, let me see it. My dad got the hat already. Let's see what else we got. Sorry about my voice, guys. I've lost my voice. It's totally gone. Kansas City had an elite bullpen. That's true. We thought we had an elite bullpen, remember?
This is the Angels hat.
You can slide
All-Star
over a
game.
bit.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Angels All-Star game.
Beautiful.
I've got to get in front of you.
I wish they didn't put the mesh on him this year.
Yeah, it's mesh in the back, but this is the player's hat. It's fitted 7 1/4 to fit my fat head. Yeah. So I'll wear this proudly at the All-Star game. Again, I'm very proud of Ohtani and Trout. And, I'll be a lifelong Angel fan, but I really would like to see them do something in my lifetime. And you have to wonder. So it is a beautiful hat. Thank you. I ordered it yesterday and it came in the mail today, believe it or not. I was looking online and I was having trouble finding it. And I found it on a site. I didn't even know if it was a reputable site, but I said I want that hat.
Yeah.
And they said it would be delivered by Monday so I could wear it to the All-Star game on Tuesday, but it was delivered today, so we'll get to wear it. And, Nolan and I will be rooting for the Angels loudly tomorrow night, even though the Dodgers are obviously the favorite.
You'll see
this
it in
hat's
the
not
vlog.
coming with me tomorll. I bought this hat just so you know because since we live in Southern California, I do go to some Dodger games, and as long as they're not playing the Angels, I'll wear a Dodger hat and I'll root for them, and I'll root for them in the playoffs and the World Series too. I don't have any problem. I just would love to have a freeway series one of these years.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
Well, I remember the Giants and the A's. I remember the Yankees and the Mets. I remember the Royals and the Cardinals in my lifetime. Seeing those, those were some memorable.
Oh yeah.
And can you imagine Angels and Dodgers? I don't know if the rest of the country would love it, but
I
holy
think that-
moly, out here in the West Coast.
I'd be scared to be in that building.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, if you go to Dodger Stadium, you know what? You control yourself. It's as simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
But I went earlier this year and saw it was the game Tyler Anderson almost pitched a no-hitter. Ohtani broke it up in the ninth. I wore my Angel hat, but I just didn't tell the Dodger fans that, I don't like you or you suck because it's not true. They're a good team. So,
There's no way we finish under the A's, Logan. I hope, right? You don't think there's something, right?
No, there's no, because we're going to play them head-to-head.
Yeah.
No, the A's aren't good.
Yeah.
That's all.
No,
They're
no.
rebuilding. They probably will get good again. I trust Billy Beane, but they're not going to be good this year. They don't even have a first baseman. So,
Yeah. We're not going to stream from the game tomorrow, Alan, because streaming from my phone doesn't work very well. But I will be making a vlog where Mr. Robbins here will be a key participant in.
absolutely,
We're
guys.
sitting front row of the club level. I don't remember where, right?
Yeah, we're kind of out towards left field a little bit, but we're in the very front row, so we'll have a rail in front of us, but no people.
Yeah. And I'm sure it'll be a sold-out crowd like it was today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Franklin P. Helmstetter. I made that up. His middle name's actually Casey, but
It's all
I
good.
call him Franklin P. Helmstetter. A's are better than the Angels? No, they're not. The A's are still worse.
Do the Angels have an official team cereal? It ain't Wheaties.
Yeah, what
Might
could
be
it
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I wish we did.
Since Shohei's hungry for victory, I wonder if Shohei's transfer can be helped. I assume you mean like if he wants to get traded somewhere. I'd like to see a trade with the Padres that gets us C.J. Abrams, maybe Mackenzie Gore. They have a lot of other top prospects. They still got a good farm system. AJ Preller's the type of crazy GM. That
Yeah, he will do
something
that.
like
You just called up Ruiz. He's good too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the Giants have some prospects. I'm not super well versed on their farm system, but I've seen a couple of videos going over like the details of what an Ohtani trade could look like. Maybe the Yankees with like Oswald Peraza, whatever his name is, Volpe or Jason Dominguez.
Yeah, I don't see them trading Dominguez.
Yeah, me neither.
But that's the kind of deal where you could get him is if you're talking Ohtani. And again, to me, talking Ohtani trade is a last resort. I know a lot of people talk about it because a lot of people want him. There's every single team in the major leagues tried to get him. So,
Frosted Flakes.
I don't see the Angels building a new stadium elsewhere. I really don't. At the end of the day, they may not be getting along with the city of Anaheim, but they're going to work it out. They probably will renovate the ballpark again further down the road, but I just don't see them building a new one. Hey, there it is. That's where Patrick Sandoval went.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hey, look at that.
Hi, Patrick.
Oh, it's Coach.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah. He was your coach, baseball coach.
That's funny. They're showing the post-game Angels Weekly thing, and they're going over my high school I went to. Can't remember his name. But yeah, Patrick Sandoval and I went to the same high school. I've told people a lot that. Chris, my dude, why aren't you here? My man, light-skinned Chris.
Chris.
My man, what the hell?
I was looking forward
to Chris could be
saying
here
hi
talking some Angels baseball right now.
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here, yes.
Yeah. We had a rough time tonight, Chris.
Yeah.
Rough game.
Mickey Mouse by us, please. I'd like to see. What did you like the Disney years?
I did not. Eisner was no, he was not a good owner. So I loved when Autry was our owner, though honestly we weren't good. But he was a loyal guy. Everybody loved him. He was like best friends with Nolan Ryan, and the players generally loved playing for him. I guarantee you the players don't say that about Moreno. They love their paychecks.
Yeah.
But you just don't get that atmosphere anymore nowadays. It's also analytical, and it really is as a business. And I guess if you want to compete, maybe it needs to be. But there also has to be a feeling of loyalty, but you earn that. It's just like respect in life. You can't demand it. You have to command it. So, And again, we're looking at these players and wondering how could a team with Trout and Ohtani be so bad, but they have so many things to fix. I don't think it's as hard as we sit here and talk about, every night. I don't think it's that hard. It is if you don't have the right people trying to help.
Yeah.
So that's at the end of the day, as I said, that's what we need to have. And I'm not a baseball GM. I play fantasy baseball and I have for almost 40 years, and I love doing that. But the regular baseball is a little bit different animal. So,
yeah.
But we got to get the right people in there, and like I said, it starts with the coaching staff and people up in the GM's office, that can run things. And I'm not soured on Perry Manassian just yet. In fact, I liked the other day when he stood up and said, "It's my bad. I take responsibility." I like that. I hate it that people like to push it to somebody else. Yeah. So, but somebody's got to step up and fix it. Is my point.
But I just can't believe that he can see, specifically the Matt Wise situation, where Reed Detmers got sent down for 2 starts, came back up, and is a much better pitcher after, 2 weeks.
Yeah, how come the minor league coaches can fix the problem that the major league coach can't fix?
Yeah, how do you
100% agree.
That? I don't understand how he can look at that and justify keeping that guy's job.
Well, like I said, I wonder if there's going to be a shakeup here next week. I really do.
Yeah.
So, and it not only wouldn't surprise me, it's probably the right thing to do. But if you don't see a shakeup in the next week, that means they're playing for next year already. Which means, yes, you're going to see a lot of our team traded.
Yeah, I think Thor's as good as gone. I think he'd be a great fit for St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely he would.
He would get from us.
Well, I like his bulldog mentality. In all honesty, he has his good days and his bad days, good games and bad games. I'm not always impressed when he leaves the ball up here in the zone. He is so hittable, but I like his mentality, and he never ever looks like he's not trying, and he never looks like he doesn't care, and that part I love. But we're paying him a lot of money for 1 year, so let's get something from him while we can. That Trevor Story thing was ridiculous last year with the Rockies.
Yeah,
you get nothing.
Yeah, you can't just let him walk for a draft pick.
You cannot.
With the qualifying offer.
No. And, if you really want Thor back, you could sign him next year anyway. But I just don't see him being an Angel next year. So you might as well trade him and get something.
Yeah.
So
Don't be selfish. Give us Thor. He's a Cardinals fan.
well, again, we have to keep working on the smaller pieces, and that's what you get for a trade deadline deal. Unless you're trading an Ohtani or a Trout.
I am curious. I was going to ask you this. Is this the worst Angels collapse you've ever seen in your life? Like, this is a
Well, we were
brutal
usually
stretch.
not good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we were. It's two different teams after May 25th.
It is. Yes, I will say it is. Though if I go back to 1986 when we were in the playoffs, we had the best team in baseball and we should have won the World Series. And some people would call that postseason a collapse, but not like this. I watch the games because I'm a fan, and I was telling Nolan, I was in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago with his brother, and I won a parlay because I bet on the Royals, and it was the night that the Royals won 12-11, and Shohei Ohtani had 8 RBIs. And I wanted the Angels to win, but I looked out on paper. I said they're not going to win, and I was right. And I wish I wasn't. I want my team to win. I wanted them to win tonight. But, I'm not going to sit here and say bad stuff about the other team. If the other team's beating us, they certainly don't suck.
Oh, that's my least favorite thing. People, I was talking shit on the Astros stadium.
Yeah.
I call it a Little League stadium because that left field is so short.
Yeah.
And someone's like, well, if it's a Little League stadium, why didn't you score any runs? I'm like, bro, I didn't say the Angels were good at hitting. I said the Minute Maid's a Little League ballpark.
Those Crawford boxes, they love to. Altuve hits quite a few up there.
Oh, yeah. Bregman loves it there.
Oh, yeah, Bregman really loves it
Correa
there.
hit one in the World Series that one year. It was literally just a pop fly. Like first row of the Crawford boxes. It was up with Matty V gusting over Kershaw. Well, Matty V wasn't always an Angels guy. I don't even know if he is I don't think he's an Angels fan at all.
Zach Cozart, Angels legend.
Oh, man, that was a great one.
Yeah, we do. We have had quite a few of those. So, It just is what it is. But like I said, if you're Angel fans like we are, you have a right to be frustrated. But you just don't settle for it and go, well, that's just how it is. Golly gee. No, and you don't have to be happy about it. When we had the losing streak going, I was watching one of the broadcasts, and they were Matty V actually said, "How do you think the players feel? They're pissed off."
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me laugh because Goopy was looking at him like, "Did you just say that?" But I don't think the problem is with the players on the field or their mentality. I don't think they've stopped trying, any of them. I don't. I really think it's in the direction. And I remember as a dad taking this guy to a private coach, and I don't even know what the coach said to him. All of a sudden, every ball was going over the fence, like 20 in a row, and I don't even know what he did. He got him like to do something weird with his hips. That's what these professional coaches are supposed to do. They're supposed to remind Taylor Ward of what he was doing the first 6 weeks of the season when he was playing like Aaron Judge. And, they always come back down to earth, but they're not supposed to come back down to earth where it's a slump for, weeks and weeks and weeks. And Mike Trout, it's ridiculous that he's slumping like this.
Yeah.
Unless he's, had back spasms for 2 months, and I don't think he has, they've got to help him. And they're not. I think these players kind of feel helpless because if they could fix it, they would. And they want to fix it. And I don't think Mike Trout's kid's quite old enough to help him yet. So
No, not yet.
you got to
saw that
figure this
video?
out. I did see that video, yeah. I love that. That's
He went on a
fun.
hot streak right after that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it just is what it is. And you know what? They're going to turn it around to a certain degree here, and they're going to get some wins. But we have a right to say that's not good enough. We expect this to be a contending team. So,
Yeah.
Nolan became Yordan Alvarez. Yeah, basically, he became Yordan Alvarez for a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hit back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. So,
Yeah.
But you know what? What these players do, day in and day out, it's very draining physically, and it's very draining mentally. And they want the fans to love them, and they want to earn their money. But again, for someone to be successful like Kershaw was tonight, we had to fail. Kershaw's not successful if we don't fail. And you just got to remember that. That's what winners and losers are. And we're trying to make our team be with that winning culture. I mean, you're seeing it with the Orioles and the Mariners lately. They don't lose. And you're thinking, how can they be better than the Angels? They are.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely they are. So it's not an accident that the Orioles just swept us. So, but we gotta fix this before we play the Mariners again, because that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into Seattle and go through that again. So that upset me when you throw at our franchise's head.
Yeah, there was a lot of feelings there.
Well, it's you know what, and that's not baseball. So you know I'm sure anytime there's a problem, you can blame both sides. But at the end of the day, if Jesse Winker doesn't go over to our bench with a bat, it doesn't happen. Simple as that. If he says you hit me in the butt, doesn't feel good, and he walks to first base like a man, there's no fight, none. And I watched that thing happen, and I know the players were chirping at him. That's what it's like on the kindergarten. You know, it's time for me to swing. That's what I felt like. You know, I didn't like the throw over Rodriguez head. That was stupid. That's dumb. That's not the right thing to do. But hitting Winker in the butt, yeah, of course that's why we started opener. That's what Wantz was in there to do. Ashbach, see?
Ashbach,
Yeah.
yeah.
So at any rate, you know,
It's Coach Ashbach.
I want to see our team get back to doing what they're supposed to do, and they're not doing it right now. And you know, I know they're frustrated. That's one reason why we saw that big fight with the Mariners.
They better be practicing their punches and kicks 1-2s for the next Mariners series.
Yeah. Without a
So
doubt.
they're showing Patrick Sandoval right now from his high school days.
Yeah.
So. But you know what, guys? There's a lot for us to build on here. We just have to get it consistently, and we got to start winning, and we got to start that culture now, even if it isn't going to transfer to the playoffs this year. You know. So there it is.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Well, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
We're going to be filming our vlog tomorrow, so you'll catch more of Mr. Robbins. So I got my brother Nick here as well. What up, Nick?
Yeah, I know you think it's Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, right? It's a Brandon
Say
Marsh
something, Captain
lookalike.
Caveman.
Go
Hey, deep.
guys, what's up? I'm just watching my high school class up here on the screen. I'm mesmerized.
Yeah,
All these
yeah.
Beautiful people.
No, they're showing our high school. The high school I went to, because Patrick Sandoval pitched there.
Yeah, he was on varsity team when
There
you
he
were there.
is.
Yeah, I have the jersey he's pitching in. Not the yellow one, but the black one they had
There he
earlier.
goes.
Cool.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching, coming to this episode of Angels Vent Line. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily MLB content. I don't think we're going to have an episode of Good Morning Baseball because I'm extremely tired. I got to go to bed. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow Sunday in the vlog when